Let's welcome our political panel, Republican strategist and founder and CEO of Vetcom, Kate Monroe, along with Democratic strategist and former Obama campaign director, Robin Biro. Good afternoon to you both. Robin, this first question is going to go to you because Bob and I were discussing it. With Mamandi, why is he centering his entire campaign around Donald Trump, who is not in the race?
It's crazy to me, honestly, Kelly. But he's doing what he needs to do to generate money. It requires a tremendous amount of money to win a race like this. And right now, everybody's talking about Trump, who loves to stay in the headlines every single day. It doesn't make sense to me, but the only way that it does make sense is, like I said, when it comes to fundraising. That's it.
Let me ask you, Kate. And I know California, I've lived there, so I know it's a different kind of place. But with what's going on in New York with the race there, Mamandi is getting so much attention that they can't be completely ignorant of him, even in California, as they go about their own lives, really in a separate country. But how do they feel about what's going on in New York and in the Democratic Party, which that is part and parcel of?
Well, we certainly do and are aware of it over here in California. And we're just looking across the land going, why? Y'all never learn anything. Why do you keep going so far left of left? I don't understand. You don't learn anything. I mean, he's basically now in a bucket with AOC and Bernie. You're sitting in an apartment of $2,300 when you yourself clearly make enough to not live there, while you're also trying to support the people who should be in the very unit that you are in. This is just like AOC and Bernie getting in their private jets, flying around, trying to say that they're for the little guy. I don't understand it. And they try to do the same stuff here in California. I mean, look at Newsom. The man is so tone deaf to what we want here in California, and then he thinks he's going to parlay this feckless failure into a presidential run. These people have no idea the will of the people, and I hope they're met with the most just voting violence, if you will, that they just don't even get in. I can't deal with it anymore.
Robin, you brought up a good point about capturing the nation's attention and fundraising, and a lot of politicians on both sides of the aisle are known for that, but they're not known for their policies and enacting the policies. Mamandi is getting all of the headlines, but then Jasmine Crockett comes to mind on the Democratic side, the Texas lawmaker who's in a battle with President Trump, going viral, and says that she's made it. She has her moment. Is this the future of politics, given how much money is needed to win? Are we going to kind of come back to the center where we have people actually debating, having policy debates as to what's the best for Americans?
Unfortunately, I'm just going to be intellectually honest. This is the future of politics, and I hate it. I hate that the loudest, most extreme voices in the room get the most attention. And absolutely, they get all the media clips. Everything Jasmine Crockett says, AOC says, and the others, Ilhan Omar, go viral. And the good work that people that are in the middle on both sides of the political aisle really don't get any attention at all. They don't get covered. No one pays attention to that except for the true political nerds like all of us here on this panel. But it's tough. Jasmine Crockett's getting drawn out of her district in Texas. I understand that she's mad as a wet hen. I would be too. But we need to pay attention to the work that's actually getting done, because all of the rest of this are distractions, Kelly.
Yeah, speaking of Texas and redistricting, didn't Gavin Newsom entertain some of these Democratic representatives? And what I wanted to know, Kate, I don't know if you know this all offhand, did he take them to the French Laundry?
That's absolutely something he would do. He would do whatever would be the most snobbish thing, bougie thing to possibly do. It's laughable to me that they want to whine and cry about redistricting. You tried to do it to the whole map. Literally the whole map. You left the border open, invited people here, marketed to them, and then put them around the nation wherever you wanted to, thinking that you would get to redistrict the entire map. And now you're mad that Texas got flooded with all of these people completely messing up every single district, and they want to do what's right by Texans. And then we're going to sit over here in California while we're flooded with crime at our open border that we had, homeless, drugs, lawlessness, fires burning down water. We don't have bigger problems. You're going to redistrict it, and it's going to do what? It's already a blue state. It would take a monumental effort to flip it red. So it's just a bunch of grandstanding, in my opinion. I can't deal with Newsom one more second. In fact, I am trying to do everything I can to go against him so the people and the rest of the nation know he is absolutely the worst possible human political leader ever in history.
Robin, I'm going to switch the topics up a bit. Another thing that's in headlines is President Trump and bringing in the National Guard, taking over the Metropolitan Police Department here in Washington, D.C., to restore law and order. D.C. is a unique jurisdiction where he's allowed to do that for 30 days. But they've said that if it goes well here, it's a model that he might like to implement in other cities, in other lawless cities. What do you think of the action, and is it a good idea?
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about this. He's certainly entitled to do this because D.C. is unique. They don't have a governor of D.C. It's not a state. So he is actually in control of the National Guard. He has every right to do this. But if they're looking to use this as a model to take it to other cities and states, they need to do it across the board, not just blue states. Because I can tell you, for example, that I'm speaking to you in Georgia, but right next door in Alabama, crime is more than double per capita what it is right there in D.C. So, you need to do this across the board, not just use it as a political tool to punish blue states, for example, and blue cities. But there are certainly red states and red cities where crime is higher percentage per capita than it is in D.C. right now. So I would like to see it applied fairly across the board if he does, in fact, do that, Kelly.
Very quickly, Kate, if there's a Democratic president in the future and he or she wants to send in troops into Alabama, assuming that what Robin is saying is true, is that okay?
I mean, I think it's okay to send them wherever the people of America are not safe. If people are getting gunned down and there's too much violence, there's too much homelessness, drugs, lawlessness, we need to rein that in. Our citizens are not safe in some of these areas. And I would argue, too, that just because a state is a color on the map when we go to vote for, like, say, the presidency, that doesn't mean that every single city is that way. There's a lot of cities. I used to live in the Panhandle of Florida when I was in the Marine Corps. And there's a lot of places that are red and there's a lot of places that are blue. So you got to do what's right across the board for American.
Absolutely.
Fair enough. Kate Monroe, thank you so much. Always great to talk to you. And Robin Biro, thank you too, sir. And we're going to talk to you again right after this break.
Straight ahead, the Trump administration